Nkwagatse Lesego with distinctions in quantum mechanics and solid state physics. Ngosi Tebelihle Ngosi Prudence with distinctions in physical chemistry 3, quantum mechanics and electrodynamics and electronics. Ndobela Happy with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Nongariso with distinctions in mathematical analysis 1 and mathematical analysis 2. Mdimeni Siboniso with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Njali Sambulo. Nchana Tabo with a distinction in mathematical analysis 2. Njile Diego with distinctions in physical chemistry 3 and quantum mechanics. Njieni Mitalo. Nugeri Musima. Nyati Belinda. Nyati Mbilo. Nyundu Goodwill with distinctions in introduction to database systems and artificial intelligence. Olu Sola Lifted with a distinction in plant physiology, growth and reproduction. Papala Mokhadi with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Patla Mohlaka Muhuwe. Patla Tebogo. Paga Lebogang with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Pagula Dumisane with a distinction in design and analysis of experiments. Pagula Riranzu. Palali Tawang. Palandwa Tsilizi. Pambane Mapula with a distinction in organic chemistry 3. Pasha Refilo with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Petla Taviso with distinctions in quantum mechanics and electrodynamics and electronics. Pokungwana Hlompo, the degree is conferred cum laude. Polwana Mafia with a distinction in quantum mechanics. Pora Potego with distinctions in introduction to database systems, operating systems, mathematical analysis 1, complex analysis, and mathematical analysis 2. Rabotata Keletso with distinctions in quantum mechanics and solid state physics. Rabutla Mokako with distinctions in introduction to database systems, abstract algebra, and mathematical analysis 2. Radipape Uwekanyego with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Razuma Murendeni with distinctions in proteins, enzymes, and biochemical techniques and environmental influences on the human body. Ragedi Musupucha with a distinction in inorganic chemistry 3. Ramano Wedney. Ramatlo Bruce with a distinction in electrodynamics and electronics. Ramaifo Timothy. Ramakulukusha Andani. Ramakwa Shoki with distinctions in introduction to database systems, artificial intelligence, and time series analysis. Ramalata Mashutu with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Ramara Puti with a distinction in physical chemistry 3. Rama Roka Musiwudi. Ramashala Madimeja. Ramatseva Masilo with a distinction in sampling theory. Ramashe Georgina with distinctions in quantum mechanics and electrodynamics and electronics. Ramatsoga Makwena. Ramawela Pavalelo with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Rambau Tavelo with a distinction in quantum mechanics. Ramareri Mpo. Ramotlola Mamorake. Ramokhopa Ngwako. Ramugoni Carol with distinctions in introduction to database systems and operating systems. Ramunyai Ngonye. Ramunyai Tebogo with distinctions in Introduction to Database Systems, Artificial Intelligence, Solid State Physics, and Electrodynamics and Electronics. Ramoshava Sunny Boy with distinctions in Industrial Biotechnology and Proteins, Enzymes, and Biochemical Techniques. Ramoshava Tabo with distinction in Introduction to Database Systems. Ramotwala AD with a distinction in Artificial Intelligence. Rampele Matavate with distinctions in Physical Chemistry 3 and Quantum Mechanics. Ramudzuli Munyadziwa. Rankweteke Tebogo. Ranoto Tukologo with a distinction in Introduction to Database Systems. Rapuli Makwena with distinctions in Physical Chemistry 3, Quantum Mechanics, and Electrodynamics and Electronics. Raseala Tato with distinctions in Quantum Mechanics and Solid State Physics. Rasefate Nuku. Rasikinya Ketani with distinctions in Industrial Biotechnology, Botany 3, Ethnobotany, and Plant Ecology. Rasivenge Kumbelo with distinctions in Fluid Mechanics and Introduction to Database Systems. Ratavana Tevatso with distinctions in Time Series Analysis, Design and Analysis of Experiments, and Mathematical Analysis 2. Ratavane Ndwambi with distinctions in Introduction to Database Systems and Artificial Intelligence. Ratsuma Taviso with distinctions in Introduction to Database Systems and Mathematical Analysis 2. Ravura Popi. Ricordo Nyeleti with a distinction in Environmental Influences on the Human Body. Ricordo Madimba with distinctions in Introduction to Database Systems and Artificial Intelligence. Robinson Naledi with a distinction in Physical Chemistry 3. Sadiki Mashud. Sambo Benneth with a distinction in Introduction to Database Systems. Satehe Ramugoni. Seabela January. Seabela Shetu. Seavi Tulani. Sebelebele Kuzo. Sebopa Selaelo with a distinction in quantum mechanics. Sebotoma Mulieri with distinctions in physical chemistry 3, analytical chemistry 3, quantum mechanics, and electrodynamics and electronics. Sedibe Munene with distinctions in physical chemistry 3, analytical chemistry 3, quantum mechanics, and electrodynamics and electronics. Siduana Tebo. Seimela Matlala with a distinction in immunology and immunotechnology. Seimela Tabo with a distinction in immunology and immunotechnology. Sekhala Adimaya with distinctions in quantum mechanics and electrodynamics and electronics. Sekhala Maputi with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Sekhapola Lefa with the distinctions in electrodynamics and electronics and quantum mechanics. Sekhobela Khatlego. Sekhwaila Morongwa with distinction in electrodynamics and electronics. Sekopane Thabang. Sekokotla Kagiso with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Sekonya Mahlabe. Seleka Wilson with distinctions in physical chemistry 3, quantum mechanics, thermodynamics and statistical mechanics, and electrodynamics and electronics. Selwane Polosho with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Seloma Luspa, the degree is conferred cum laude. Semenya Noko. Semoka Miriam with distinctions in physical chemistry 3 and quantum mechanics. Sino Mashienyani. We got what's Signolo Malewo with distinctions in introduction to database systems and artificial intelligence. Sipuru Lehlogonolo. Setlago Tumelo with distinctions in quantum mechanics and electrodynamics and electronics. Setojwa Tabo with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Setosa Tato with a distinction in mathematical analysis too. Setwaba Refilwe. Shai Matlomola with distinctions in abstract algebra and sampling theory. Shibampo Tletness. Shingange Ndombi. Shongwe Nombulelo with distinctions in applied linear algebra and sampling theory. Sibui Sani with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Setole Limpo with a distinction in integer programming. Setole Amanda. Sivasha Moshe. Your cut. Sima Selaelo. Silinda Khomotso with a distinction in environmental influences on the human body. Siporo Rodondwa with distinctions in proteins, enzymes, and biochemical techniques and industrial biotechnology. Siwalani Hope with distinctions in proteins, enzymes, and biochemical techniques and immunology and immunotechnology. Skosana Lewo. Talane Brian Ndladi. Tati Andisiwe. Tevele Petunia with a distinction in organic chemistry 3. Tema Wanatole. Tamara Motlazo with a distinction in quantum mechanics. Tanza Camorello with a distinction in introduction to database systems. Tanza Mahlatsi. Teledi Isaac with distinctions in quantum mechanics and electrodynamics and electronics. Temba Mikateko with distinctions in introduction to database systems and artificial intelligence. Tobejani Phineas. Tobejani Tukisho. Thobejane Makgethwa. Thobela Sipesihle. Toga Owen. Towards Harold with a distinction in Introduction to Database Systems. Tobagale Chandugo. Chaji Eugene. Chaji Paledi. Chaji Matabelo. Tlali, excellent with a distinction in solid state physics. Tomondo Anesu. Tsebe Dumisang. Tsetsewa Mankatulu. Tsietsaetsa Vavui with a distinction in mathematical analysis too. Chivombela Thelma. Tusa Antonas. Klokana Dimakazo with a distinction in electrodynamics and electronics. Ubisi Tumelo. Vilakazi Mzwandile with a distinction in Physical Chemistry 3. Shegisho Machweni. Yende Jabulile. Zandile Sindiswa with a distinction in proteins, enzymes, and biochemical techniques. Zwane Malefeu.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the postgraduate degrees of the university on those graduates whose names appear in the program.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer the postgraduate degrees.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present the following graduates whose names appear in the program and have complied with the requirements of the degree Bachelor of Science honors. Valoi Dumisani with a distinction in research project. Bushielo Mahomu. Chagi Sibusiso with distinctions in research projects and database. Chere Lerato with a distinction in computer security. Chene Musejuadi with a distinction in bioinformatics and special topics. Lamini Tamari with distinctions in quantum mechanics, solid state physics and research project. Khatle Matume with distinctions in database and computer networks. Kubai Rivalani. Kumalo Tlen with a distinction in research project. Komane Malahlane. Koto Mahafela with a distinction in advanced mathematical programming. Kwanaite Tabang with a distinction in computer networks. Langa Limakatso. Letswalo Mochaji, the degree is conferred cum laude. Ludombo Hulisani. Mawe Makota with a distinction in research project. Mabuela Mukaba. Matsunye Makadzi. My nature Kokecho with a distinction in research project. Mahlache Makoma with distinctions in research project and bioinformatics and special topics. Makuvela Precious with distinctions in research project, quantum mechanics and statistical mechanics. Makofane Noah with distinction in mind mapping and ore reserve calculation. Makondo Vuyani. Mako Busisiwe with distinctions in complex analysis, functional analysis, general topology, and number theory. Malebati Johannes with a distinction in research project. Makwiting Ngwako. Maguyane Khotatso with distinctions in quantum mechanics, statistical mechanics, and research project. Maleka Sandile with a distinction in research project. Maliva Takalo. Maluleke Khumotso. Maraka Sanaga. Marema Tabang, the degree is conferred cum laude. Maruta Mojaji with a distinction in database. Mapage Precious. Maponya Pashe. Mashele Nzako. Matoko Tato Emmanuel. Matlala Mabasa. Maunye Camorelo. Mbewe Paladi. Meambo Saulo with a distinction in mine mapping and ore reserve calculation. Mehlape Musheu with a distinction in research project. Mutlongo Ngovile. Mikosi Busani with the distinctions in solid state physics and research project. Mokachwa Tandiwe. Mala Tinzwalo with the distinction in research project. Mnisi Tembani with a distinction in solid state physics. Munisi Laura. Mueti Ramalevana with distinctions in statistical mechanics, solid state physics, and research project. Mohopa Mapagela with a distinction in research project. Mujela Masetena. Mokhabudi Lesego. Mokhanya Kumutso with a distinction in research project. Mukoboli Tabiso. Mukwele Motlatso with a distinction in research project. Mokwena Haskell. Mokwala Mankhas. Molokome Prince. Moloto Maripa. Moloto Molatelo. Moremi Harold with a distinction in advanced organic chemistry. Murulane Katlego Lloyd, the degree is conferred cum laude. Musima Mabutse. Motapo Mologadi with a distinction in all mineralogy, microscopy and genesis. Motlale Khomotserang with distinctions in research projects, solid state physics and research project. Motose Tsakane with the distinctions in advanced petrology and petrography and research project. Mpateng Mpeya. Molaudzi Tiko. Molaudzi Fulufelo with a distinction in software engineering. Ndlovu Amukelani. Netengwe Rofiwa with a distinction in research project. Ngayo Tapelo. Ngwepe Dineo with a distinction in research project. Ngwana Jackson with a distinction in advanced inorganic chemistry and research project. Nguna Naledi with a distinction in software engineering. Paladi Amanda with a distinction in research project. Palana Ishmael with a distinction in research project. Palane Ramatsimela. Pale Witemogelo, the degree is conferred cum laude. Pasha Dumiso. Pogole Ramatsovane. Ragedi Mashaole with a distinction in research project. Ramaite Fulufelo.
So my distinction is not appearing. I worked hard for it.
Ramohola Ntswaki with a distinction in land degradation. Ramokgopa Elafrida. Rampedi Matlatse. Ramushu Kagiso. Rapolo Malatelo. Rapolile Mulebogeng. Ratadi Sharon. Seakamela Matabo. Sebei Tubake with distinctions in bioinformatics and special topics and research project. Sebola Kuzo with distinctions in occupational health and research project. Sewodi Rudolph with distinction in advanced organic chemistry and research project. Sekhala Puti. Selapa Samantha. Silolo Limakatso. Sepuane Obageng with distinctions in advanced numerical analysis and advanced mathematical programming. Setlako Tumelo with distinctions in research project and computer networks. Shabangu Palesa. Shai Chogofatso with a distinction in sustainable resource development. Shiburi Ona. Shikwambana Ngateko. Shimange Percival with a distinction in quantum mechanics and solid state physics. Sibia Nondlandla. Toka Ramakhatlela with a distinction in computer security. Selani Mapiri with a no, it's not a distinction. Selani Mapiri. Tsoke Chweni Clement, the degree is conferred cum laude. Tuka Khomo Mapulane with a distinction in research project. Zabala Nondoveko with a distinction in research project.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. Chancellor, le nna ke a e batla. Siena Marena, kubo ya thuto. Ke tšhaba dipuo tša batho. Batho ba bolela. Bjale ge ke apere o tshwana le mamothai ba ka sa bolelane. Mr. Chancellor, as you might be aware, in Africa, ge re thakgetše o tshwana le mamotha re a opela. Ge re nyala re a opela. Le ge re graduate o tshwana le mamotha re a opela. And this sweet music was rendered by a very good choir. In fact, it is one of the best choirs currently in the country. So you are very fortunate to listen to such a quality choir, because for some people to listen to such a choir, they have to pay high prices, but you got it for free. So can we give it a big round of applause, please? Mr. Chancellor, would like to thank you highly for presiding over this ceremony in an excellent manner. You would agree with me that being a leader is an extremely difficult task anywhere in the world. Nevertheless, Mr. Chancellor, we would like to thank you for being a good captain. When COVID-19 landed on our shores in 2020, you said the university could not afford to abandon its academic activities. On account of your visionary leadership, the university developed a multimodal teaching, learning, and assessment plan that enabled us to deliver the full academic project effectively. That is why today, parents and ourselves are gathered here celebrating the achievements of our students. As we speak, some of these students are already working, earning decent salaries. To the Vice Chancellor, we would like to say, Sikwembu Simikatekisa. Can we give him a big round of applause? Mr. Chancellor, a leader at a university level can only be effective if there is adequate support from council. And in our instance or our case, we are very fortunate in the sense that we have a very supportive council, which is today represented by Chair of Council, Mr. Pandelani Neforobodwe. I would ask him to raise his hand so that people should know him. Thank you very much. Mr. Neforobodwe is today accompanied by Mr. Rachidi, also a council member. I'll also humbly request him to raise his hand or stand up. Mr. Neforobodwe and Mr. Rachidi live up to the idea, as we say in Sepedi, kopano kimata. A leader can only become an effective leader if he is capable and support deputies. In fact, our Vice Chancellor promotes togetherness. He believes, as we say in Chivenda, munwe mutihi autusi matutu. In this regard, we would like to thank Professor Singh, the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research, Innovation and Partnerships, for being a very efficient deputy. She welcomed all of us warmly, and we indeed felt at home. Can we also give her a big round of applause, please? Mr. Chancellor, the power of faith and prayer cannot be underestimated. As Gandhi reveals, prayer is the most potent instrument of action. It is therefore not surprising that because of a very powerful prayer by Bishop Paswana, this ceremony went so well. To Bishop Paswana, we would like to say to him, Rolibuwa Ngamanda. Can we also give him a big round of applause? To Mr. Mabira, many thanks for your inspiring and uplifting message. Our graduates are emboldened to face the world with confidence. We know that you as Convocation are doing the best that you can to uplift the university academically and even financially. We are therefore highly encouraged that you told our graduates to join convocation and alumni structures so that our university can grow from strength to strength. Can we also give him a big round of applause, please? Without forward-looking youth, this country will have no future. We are therefore grateful for the positive and motivational message delivered by Mr. Kanyane, the SRC Deputy Secretary. With the youth of his caliber, we are assured that South Africa will have a prosperous future. I liked his speech very much, especially the message when he said, do not give up. And indeed, the graduates are not going to give up. They are going to ensure that this country becomes a very prosperous country very soon. Can we also give him a big round of applause, please? We would also like to express our gratitude to the Dean of Students, academics who are seated in front here, and those who could not be here because we could not accommodate all of them on account of COVID-19 protocols. Also including support staff. And in this case, we'd like to acknowledge all executive deans of faculty, directors of school, heads of department, professors, senior lecturers, and junior lecturers for a job well done. They are the ones who cooked you. And now you are ready indeed to face the world because of their work. Their contribution to the success of our students is enormous. Can we also give our academics a big round of applause, please? And if there is a party, it means there's something wrong with you. And in our case, we are very lucky. We did invite many people, guests, and they turned up in large numbers. That is why in Northern Sotho we say, mutu ki mutu kabatu. In Xitsonga munhu I munhu hi vanhu. Nga Tshivenda mutu ndi mutu nga vathu. Nga Chinguni Chizulu ri tshi katela na Chiswati. Umuntu nga abantu. We are therefore grateful that we had many special guests at our ceremony. So to all our guests, thanks very much for your presence, for gracing this occasion in such large numbers. Bjale ke tlo leka ho bolela Sepedi, a ke bolele Sepedi, it's not my mother tongue. Fela ke tlo leka. Batswadi, re a le leboha kudu, le thekgile bana ba lena ka dinako ka moka. Le ipuditše gore thuto ya bana ba lena e tšwa pele. Le buditše bana ba lena gore tše tša o sepela o kgopela swekere, o kgopela letswai, o kgopela le sešebo, metseng ya baagišane, ga se tšona. Le ba buditše la re mphe e a lapiša, motho o kgonwa ke sa hao. And for that, our parents and sponsors, thanks very much. Because as you have seen, this is like the fruit of your labor. These children are graduating today because you were there for them. You did not run away. And we as an institution are highly, highly grateful to all of you. Can you therefore then give yourselves here a big round of applause? Well, for all these good arrangements, we would also like to thank our capable registrar, Professor Masha, and his team, consisting of the Deputy Registrar, Mr. Malachela, Assistant Registrars, Ms. Mata, Mr. Toti, Ms. Ngobo, and so on, as well as assistant registrars in faculties, principal, admin officers, and secretaries for a wonderful job. As you can see, the whole looks impressive because of the good work by marketing and communication, as well as logistics, under the supervision of Mr. Khomio Swana, with his colleagues like Ms. Moja, Ms. Talane, Ms. Plaiki, and so on, as well as Mr. Mapatane and his colleagues as well from logistics. To all of them, we say thank you. Thanks are also due to security staff, our ICT staff, all photographers here, and of course, the cleaners for a job well done. Now, to our beloved students, we would like to thank you for working very hard in your studies and for choosing University of Limpopo as your alma mater. You know it's very hard to study and even sometimes to switch on those computers, trying to come up with a new program in your computer studies. It's not easy. But you persevered in spite of COVID-19 and other challenges. You did not give up. And we know sometimes your boyfriend will give you a call and you will say, not Mamota, my lovey, because your studies came first. We know that some of you are already working. And our appeal to you is that donate one of your monthly salaries, especially to your mothers. Fathers must not worry, because when graduates walked here on the stage, I heard most of them saying, Mama, I've made it. Mama, I've done it. I thought one of them would say, Papa, I've made it. And there was not even a single one of them. So it can become a very good research topic for a PhD one day. But then if you do that, you donate one of your salaries, I tell you, things will go very well for you. You'll become a senior worker wherever you are very soon. Lastly, you did not achieve this success on your own. And of course, your parents, your sponsors, and academics here were there alongside you. On this note, then, we as the university would request you that you stand up and you pronounce loudly to the academics in front and even your parents and your relatives at the back, and you pronounce that I thank you or thank you for your support. Can you stand up and do so, please? Thank you very much. Well, as we are aware, and this is a serious plea from our side, the roads are very dangerous, and we love all of you. And for that reason, then please drive safely and arrive home alive. Ube neluhambo loluphephile. Mi famba kahle, lisipile gabotse, ba chimbile zwabodi. Re a leboha.
by virtue of the authority vested in me, I dissolve this congregation of the University of Limpopo.
Good morning, good morning.